Mark and I are at the Old Station Lassen Visitor Center.
Going on a YouTube channel. I'd be grumpy again. It's very hot out. We're starting out in the middle of the day.
Yeah, Mark's not actually grumpy. He's fake grumpy Mark. Hey there. We're just finishing up day 1 or day 0.5, depending on how you want to look at it, of our very short little early season sort of shakedown hike that we're doing up in Hat Rim. So we started at Old Station today. We're just doing like a 45-mile section up to Burney Falls to connect with where we started last summer. We decided earlier this spring that we're gonna do the TRT or the Tahoe Rim Trail this summer, so I wanted to put some PCT miles behind me that we haven't hiked yet. So we decided just to do this as kind of an early season training hike. But it's been really pretty so far. One of the things I really enjoy about section hiking is you can kind of choose your seasons, and so it's actually still pretty nice out. It's not insanely hot. I'm gonna have to deal with the similar water problems that everybody does in this section, but not doing it in 110-degree heat, so pretty stoked about that. So just did a little 10-mile jaunt into camp. So doing a dry camp tonight, and then got a 20-mile day tomorrow. Mark, how was your first day?
It was good.
Say more.
It's very lava rocky all along the way. So there was a lot of trips. But there was a lot of wildflowers as well, which were very beautiful. There's a lot of sunlight, and we got into camp very early. It was good.
Beginning of day 2. So right behind me is a little path down to a spring. Lost Creek Spring, which if we were doing this later in the season, we'd have to hike probably about 500 feet down or 400 feet down in about 0.3 miles to get water. But luckily, because we're here a little early season, it looks like there is water flowing across the trail about a mile up. So we are not going to walk down to the bottom of that canyon. We're instead going to continue on. Mark was also quick to correct me that we actually walked 8 miles yesterday, not 10. So I'll also correct myself and say that we are walking 18 miles today, not 20. This is a very nice ridge where you can see Mount Shasta peeking out in the distance. What I just learned is called the Thousand Lakes Wilderness, which I'm feeling a little bit jealous about. Mount Lassen behind us, and then just kind of like up atop this bluff with like nice panoramic views, beautiful sage, lots of wildflowers.
4GLTE.
Day 2, how'd it go?
Day 2, I'm doing well compared to everyone else.
What do you mean by that?
I had a debilitating back spasm this morning. That's a little bit hyperbole, but definitely had a moment where I was like, oh, we might stop this trip very early. And then got some low-grade knee pain because I'm old. But other than that, I'm doing really well. Carly is not doing as well.
What did you think of the hike today?
It was good. There's beautiful flowers and good vistas, and the lava field was not nearly the lava field of lava fields past.
So just finishing up day 2. My hood is doing really weird things, but I'm trying to hide from the sun because there's like zero shade. Really beautiful first half of the day, or like first 3/4 of the day. Lots of wildflowers. I was actually surprised by how beautiful it was, like up on the escarpment. We saw a shrew dying. I'm pretty sure it was a shrew. It was very sad. I wanted to help it, but also nature.
We'll kill it.
Yeah, I felt bad for it. And I've had like major hip pain all day. So we actually did end up hiking about 20 miles, and we're camping not very far away from a road. I don't know. Do you think this is like the worst backpacking campsite we've ever been in, or no? What would, if you had to say like worst backpacking?
I can't think of it off the top of my head, but
it's not this.
It's not this.
That's fair.
We've been in like spots like this where there's not a single tree and you're just baking.
That's fair. Yeah. But
it's a less traffic road.
We had originally thought we might try and push to the next water source, but it's an additional 5 miles. And we already went about 20 miles today. And you know, we're not trail hardened or anything like that. This is like our second day of backpacking this year. And also there's like a water cache next to the road. So we figured to just call it good, post up for the rest of the day, rest. And we only have 16 miles to Burney Falls tomorrow anyway, so there's really no other good reason to push aside for like a nicer campsite. But I feel pretty strongly that that is not gonna be the case. I also feel like we're not gonna get that many mosquitoes here compared to where we would camp 5 miles down, which is like another potential benefit. So all in all, not that bad.
Except for the hip pain.
Except for the hip pain. Good morning from the top of day 3. Got a pretty good night's sleep last night, although someone was like dirt biking at 3 o'clock in the morning, which was a little bit confusing to me.
You told me that already.
And I thought we might get murdered. But I think we only have 15 or 16 miles today into Burney Falls, so I say only now, but we'll see how it goes. Got pretty excited that water problems are going to be behind us, so we've both been carrying like 3 to 6 liters of water for a significant portion of this, and we don't have to do that today, and I think that might help with some of the aches and pains and all that good stuff. So excited to see Baum Lake, which is about 3 miles up. Probably going to be a little bit mosquito-y, but looks like it's supposed to be beautiful. And then yeah, excited to see Burney Falls again too. It was really pretty when we were there last time.
Dear diary.
How you doing over there, big guy?
Pretty good. I don't know if I thought you were taking a picture.
I was.
I'm doing well.
How are we doing over there, Mark?
I'm doing well.
We are currently sitting next to a spring, which is basically a gushing river. I always think it's really cool how much water can consolidate in areas like this, particularly where there's like a lot of volcanic rock, because the rest of the area is like so arid and dry because the water seeps in really quickly. But then when you get to these places where the water emerges, it's like extremely impressive amounts, which is also why Burney Falls is so cool. But we had one place in Oregon last year that was similar to this, where it was like a 0.8 mile hike off trail and nobody was going to it because it was so far away, and we were expecting it to be this tiny little trickling spring, and it was like a raging river coming out of like 15 different parts of the mountain. It was awesome. And the water's delicious and cold.
Show them in the river.
Alright, so I just tried to record our last day video and made no sense. But we hiked out to Burney Falls State Park today, about 17 miles from where we camped last night. Lots of different terrain today. Overall, not a super challenging hiking day. My hip was feeling way better, so pretty chill. And we were originally planning on camping at Burney Falls tonight, but we got in at like 2:30 or 3. And so we just got some ice cream and hung out for a little bit, went to see the falls, and then ended up hitching a ride back up to Old Station where we parked. So now we're at a campground across from the subway caves in Lassen National Forest. Yeah, beautiful evening. And anything to share, Mark? Mark making a subtle appearance.
Up there is a good fishing spot. Down here is a good place to back.
Hey guys, it's day four check-in, and we just walked about a quarter mile up a paved road in Lassen. It's pretty tough, but the view's pretty nice. The Dixie Fire definitely did a number on Lassen, but the road is closed. So like Palace of Versailles on the weekends, it's kind of nice when there's less people around.
Wouldn't be a proper backpacking trip without a road walk of some kind. So not really day 4 of our backpacking trip, but day 4 of our little adventure. We decided to drive the long way back and come through Chester at Lake Almanor and drop into the south side of Lassen National Park. So just popped off here for a bit and getting ready to head home shortly. But yeah, just playing tourist for the day. It's pretty nice.